Why am I shirtless? Well, this one is sort of by popular demand. There is a lot of food on this channel, and I keep getting asked whether I really eat all that food. People just kind of wonder how I managed to eat all that stuff and not blow up. Now, what do you think? Do I actually eat it or not? So, do I or don't I? The short answer is, you bet I do, to the last bit. Now, this video is not about me, it's about you. The aim of the video is to provide you with an honest idea of how to eat all that Italian goodness and still manage your weight and shape. So yes, no need to skip on those delicious Italian eats. But there are still some strings attached. I do eat all that stuff. It's just too tasty. The thing is, I only do it once in a while, and the rest of the time, I'm pretty disciplined about what I put in my mouth. You should have some idea of what you put in your body and how much of it you burn. The key concept here is that you can never outtrain a bad diet. So, let's start with what you eat. If you want to get anywhere, you can't afford not to know what in terms of calories is on your plate. There is also the macros ratio, which is the proportion of calorie intake from carbs, fat, and protein, but that's beyond the scope of this video. Basically, it's all about having a bit of knowledge of nutrition and exercise, and being in control over your body to the greatest possible degree. The first step towards having that control is eating out as little as possible. The less you eat out, the more control you have. Why? Because when you eat out, you never really know what exactly they put in your food. Is it loaded with oil or butter? If oil, what oil? A healthy one or the cheapest garbage they can get away with? Even if it's the highest grade extra virgin olive oil, how much of it did they put in your food? 1 teaspoon or 5 tablespoons? You see, you have very little control over your calorie intake when you eat out. On top of that, if you're having a drink while waiting or with your food, and you do it often, you're pretty much setting yourself up for failure. And then there is even worse than eating out, and that's ordering your food in. The trouble here is access to food these days is way too easy, and that's not natural. Never in the history did your food just arrive to you. You had to either farm it or fish it or catch it. These days, you get your food to your door by a click of a finger, and unfortunately that's 0 calories burned. So eating the food others make for you is a problem if you want control. To avoid that, you need to be willing to prepare your own food. By doing that, you should have a pretty good idea of what's entering your body, and that's a start. Now, we're all different. We like different things and have different habits. I eat 5 times a day, every day, but I don't graze. Between those meals, I don't snack on crackers, peanuts, chips, or similar. Contrary to the popular trend, I love carbs. I could eat pasta and pizza every day, but I don't. At the same time, I don't want to deprive myself of what I like, so I have either one or the other some 3 to 4 times a week. However, when I eat it, I don't eat buckets of it. I either make my own pasta so I know exactly what goes in it, or I give up some control when I eat out, but that's not a big problem, because Italian pasta portion size is way smaller than in the US. If you eat in one of those places where they put a bathtub full of pasta in front of you, this video has no use to you. Don't get mad with me, just think. If they put 2 pounds of anything on your plate, that must be the cheapest, unhealthiest thing they can find. Next, I eat way too little vegetables and next to 0 fruit. But I'm by no means promoting such diet. It's just that I'm lazy. But let's get into the specifics. I eat at the same exact times every day. My usual breakfast consists of a mix of oats, cornflakes, nuts, seeds, and berries. To that, I add some protein powder that helps balance my daily protein intake. I don't do protein shakes during the day, no pre-workout, post-workout, no supplements, no pills, nothing. Between breakfast and lunch, I have a snack that consists of pastry and coffee. Don't follow my example and try to stay away from pastries as much as you can. The trouble is, the coffee shop across the street from where I live make their own pastries, and they're world class. And that's the end of the discussion. My lunch can be anything, but it's likely to consist of pasta, just regular one, no whole wheat or fancy kinds of pasta, or it can be rice. I don't pay much attention what kind of rice. The key here is quantity. I try to do with a max of 80 to 90 grams, which is not a lot of pasta, but through experience I figured out that's what my body needs. I maybe have some olives before that, or a bit of hard cheese afterwards, but that's pretty much it. That's followed by some chocolate. Now, I eat chocolate twice a day, 365 days a year. But the key is quantity. I go for a very small piece, and I'm okay with that. When I say chocolate, I mean anything above 70 or 80%, because otherwise half of it is just sugar. Between lunch and dinner, I'll have one of those Greek or Icelandic yogurts, just white, the regular ones. Dinner can be anything. A steak, salmon, tuna, or similar with some grilled veggies and maybe some beans or lentils. Sometimes, lunch or dinner, I'll just make myself a couple of eggs, obviously with bacon. Other than that, I will have pasta, fagioli, polpette, lasagne, parmigiana, saltimbocca, trippa, fritti, you name it, just not multiple helpings. In the summer, I'll have ice cream after dinner, maybe twice a week, but always a good quality one. Even the smallest ice cream is plenty big, so un gelato piccolo, per favore. When I go watch games with buddies, I'll have a burger, no problem. But no double or triple anything. I'm happy to have it with or without fries, but if I go for fries, it's usually the smallest size they have. I'll have a pint of beer or a glass of wine with my meal, but rarely two. I prefer to eat my calories, not drink them. Coke and other sugary drinks just don't exist for me. I wouldn't know what to do with it. Sure, there are cheat meals once in a while, but I try not to turn them into cheat days. A cheat half day, maybe for Christmas, is fine, why not? Forget about cheat weeks if you want to get anywhere, but I will do a cheat week when I'm sick. Because then, body has different priorities, and I make sure it gets its fuel. I usually purposely gain a couple of pounds during the winter, exactly for that purpose, so that the body has a little reserve. The important thing is who controls your weight gain or weight loss. It should be you.